about it. Firstly, as you rightly say, nowadays, even before COVID and the pandemic, people were spending more and more time online. People were getting access to the internet as a part of their daily lives, which wasn't happening a few years ago. And the other thing is, physical risks have been with us for generation upon generation. People have learned how to deal with those and have passed that knowledge down to their children, their children's children. All this online stuff is relatively brand new. And so we're still in the business of making sure that people have a basic awareness that there are actually risks out there, and also based on that interest, what the biggest risks are, what they can do about them. And that's what Get Safe Online is all about. And that's why we're so pleased to be working in St. Kitts and Nevis and so many other places.
The thing about COVID-19, as you mentioned, it acted as a bit of an accelerant. People were encouraged to get online, but now they're being pushed to get online. Tell me about being online and in the context of who's vulnerable. Is everyone vulnerable, and who is more vulnerable?
Okay, well, I tell you one thing, Clive, there's no comfort. Everybody is vulnerable. Everybody is at risk of getting caught out. And I don't mean to frighten people out of living online, because there's so much to be gained from it. But it's like driving a car or learning to ride a bike or crossing the road. It brings you all kinds of benefits, but you need to learn how to do it safely so that you can look after yourself and look after others. So I would say there are, everyone's at risk, some people more than others. When we came to St. Kitts and other parts of the Caribbean, I always used to ask the question, what are the biggest threats? What are the biggest risks? We know everybody's at risk, but where are the biggest pinch points, the things you worry about most? And everywhere we went, we got two messages. One is it's about children and young people, and they may be the people with the most adaptability to digital life. And maybe people carrying that round in their hands or in their pockets in the form of a mobile telephone and a plan. But actually, as with everything else, they're less experienced in life. They're more inclined to take risks. They're more inclined to defy authority and not do what they're advised to do by older people. And at the same time, they won't be wise to the ways of the world. And that can make them very vulnerable. And I've spent enough of my time in my previous career seeing what happened when children, young people had that combination of confidence and risk and vulnerability exploited for bad reasons. And it can be devastating and tragic. So that's number one. It always is. The other one is slightly different. And this is actually not about people who have too much confidence or have these devices in their pockets all the time. This is actually about the older generation, and I'm probably part of that generation, let's be honest, who didn't grow up with this, for whom this is all very, very new. And the risk there is that they are maybe just blindsided, maybe a little bit too proud to ask, to seek information, to show that they don't know enough, and to just learn. And what really worries me is they may be missing out on all the great things that digital life can bring, because they just don't want to engage with it. And I know that in St. Kitts and Nevis and in many other parts of the Caribbean, one of the ways in which you used a great word, an accelerant, that's exactly what it is. It's actually an accelerant in St. Kitts and Nevis towards moving towards a more digital economy and digitizing the interactions between the citizen and the state through paying taxes and all that kind of stuff. So there's never been a more important time for people to be online, but the risks are there. And the last thing I'd say is what COVID has done is it's pushed people online to socialize, to network, to do stuff they may have done previously face-to-face, but it's also pushed businesses online to do more ordinary transactions through the internet when previously they did that face-to-face. So whether that's an individual, whether that's a business, that increases the level of vulnerability. So there's a whole host of things out there not to be frightened of, but to treat with concern and to inform ourselves about so we can protect ourselves.
Tell us a bit about the role of Get Safe Online. What is a role that you would like to play, and what have you done so far?
Sure. Well, Get Safe Online has been around in the United Kingdom since 2005, and it's a not-for-profit organization. And what it does, or what it tries to do, is exactly what the title says. We try to get people safe online. And through donations or grants, we provide education and awareness to the public. We provide a website, and St. Kitts has its own Get Safe Online website, and I'm going to have to mention this, getsafeonline.kn. That's getsafeonline.kn. It's all there. So we do that. We do outreach through PR and media and campaigns, because not everyone's going to go to our website to find out that they're at risk. Some people need to be told that up front wherever they are. And we're also increasingly getting face-to-face with people. We don't do that ourselves now, but in St. Kitts, we're looking to launch an ambassador scheme. So we're looking to recruit people from St. Kitts and Nevis who we can help to train, support, and give materials to and mentor, so that they can go out and spread the word to their own communities, the people they most care about in that country. So that's all kind of stuff what we do. We've been in St. Kitts operating, our website's been alive there since April 2019, and thousands of people have visited it. We've been active since then, trying to promote the right messages so that people are aware of the risks and know what they can do. And we're not doing this without local help. I was actually looking at the list of people I've had the pleasure to meet when we were out there fact finding, and people as varied as the DF Bay Primary School, the St. Kitts and Nevis Accreditation Board, a number of other government agencies, and our key contacts. Our key contacts are within the Ministry of National Security, but also within the Department of Technology at the Ministry of Justice, Legal Affairs and Communications. So we're here to support, we're here to help, we're here to respect everything that's going on and fit in with that and amplify it as best we can with the extra tools in our tool bag, and with the support of the grant that we've received from the UK Commonwealth Cybersecurity Programme.
Now, for someone who may be listening at the moment and may want to get involved, what are the steps?
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. Step one, learn more about the risk. Go to getsafeonline.kn and just take a look. You won't be able to read the whole thing in half an hour, but drop in, treat it like a magazine. Look at a topic that interests you, learn something about it, and maybe tell other people and get them to go to the website as well. The truth of it is that there's all kinds of different possibilities and risks out there, and so explaining it takes a long time. But treat the website as a magazine or an encyclopedia. When the thought occurs, well, what about this? Go there and you'll find the information. The other main thing people can do if they really want to get involved is look at our ambassador scheme, and they can email us at ambassadors@getsafeonline.org, and we'll take it from there. And we're just looking for people. They probably don't think they're cybersecurity experts, but they're people with a passion for making their families or their communities or their churches or their schools safe. We can give them the tools to do that job. So that's two things people can do. Look at that website, learn something, be safer. And if you really want to put yourself out and make a difference within your community, get hold of us in our ambassador scheme, ambassadors@getsafeonline.org, and we'll be only too delighted to reach out and help you.
Apart from what you've discussed so far, what are some of the frequently asked questions based on your experience? I'm told, and I've got some notes before the conversation, that you're in 12 countries. What are some of the frequently asked questions, one or two or three perhaps, that you would like to perhaps share your responses with our listeners?
Thank you very much. Well, yeah, I mean, I should say we're proud to work across 12 Caribbean countries, all the Caribbean countries that are part of the Commonwealth of Nations. And because our reception there was so good, we've actually expanded more recently into the Pacific and also into Rwanda in Africa. But that's all building on the success and the great engagement we have with St. Kitts and Nevis and other places. One of the things that always makes me uncomfortable is when people ask me to give a kind of 2 bullet point answer to how do I stay safe online. It's I'd love to do that, but here are a couple of things to think about that I think anybody should think about, and I hope we've got time just to go through this. And please feel free to ask me anything you like if you don't think I made it clear, Clive. But here's the first one: passwords. Your password is your privacy on your device. Don't make it easy for people to figure out what it is. Don't write it, stick it on the front of your computer so anybody can see it. Don't have the same password for every device. That's a really, really important thing. Anyone who's got a device, it's really important that they keep the software up to date. Why? Because within those constant updates you get from whoever's providing your operating system, a lot of that is about keeping your machine safe from the latest threats that they've picked up. So always keep your software up to date. And the last thing is a motto that I got taught over 30 years ago when I was policing, and I actually think it's very true today. And this is simply about not believing what you see. And it's ABC. A is assume nothing. B is believe nobody. And C is check everything. Now, I was taught that by a detective as a way of inquiring into crime, but the truth is there are so many layers of scams, falsehoods, blind alleys, and ways of being deceived online that the best way to approach it is not to switch off and never engage with it, but just to be cautious about what you choose to believe. If you know somebody in the physical world and they have a presence online, engage with them. If you don't know them and all you see in front of you is an email or a link, those are very dangerous, or someone you've never met before, just be a little bit cautious. There's a wonderful world out there to be discovered through the internet, but you've got to pick your way through it a little bit to get the good stuff. So I would say assume nothing, believe nobody, check everything, and that will help you stay safe.
Well, Peter Davies, a pleasure talking to you today about Get Safe Online, and we've got to go now, but I can't leave without inviting you to give me a closing comment in about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I look back very fondly on the visit I was privileged to have to St. Kitts in the form of our outreach. Anybody who's listening who I met, thank you so much. We just really want to help you be as safe as you can be in this new and slightly scary world. Go to our website, become an ambassador, take the mantle off us and carry it forward for yourself, and we're there to help. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
And yourself. Thank you. Take care.
All right, there you had it, Mr. Peter Davies telling us about Get Safe Online. And of course, you heard about their website and you know how to get some more information. And of course, we want to wish you all the very best. And thank you for listening, being a part of our program today. And remember, it's very important, you're going to be online, so get safe online. Thank you for your time.
Church Calling, the radio voice of the St. Kitts Christian Council, on Sundays from 7 to 8 p.m. on Win FM. Listen to recommendations for your physical, spiritual, and mental health. Call in and ask your questions or make your suggestions. It's our